day, millions of people make their soup this way, out of the can, just the way my mother did.
Not my mother. My mother used to make it this way, fresh from scratch.
Fresh homemade soup. That's
Yes.
what we're going to do today.
Happy cooking.
Bon appetit. We're going to start out with that famous French onion soup gratiné.
Right.
You're going to do the onions.
We start with onion. I have about a pound of onion here.
How many is this going to serve?
Oh, I would say that would serve 6 people. You have a
Good.
pot ready for me?
I do. I'll put
So I got a pot of onion.
oil in it here. That's enough to fill the pan, really.
That's great. So I have my onion ready for you.
Yeah.
Here we are.
We want a little salt and pepper in there, some
Yes,
herbs.
we put salt and pepper. You know what I put also? I put a little bit of thyme leaves.
That would be nice.
Here we
These
are.
onions are going to cook slowly first so that they're all cooked through tenderly, which will take about 8 to 10 minutes over a moderate flame. Then you brown them, but it's very important that they get thoroughly cooked.
You can see the crystallization of the juice in the bottom, the sugar of the onion, and it's browning here. And you really want it nice and dark, very rich color. Like So now we put the stock. That's it.
And the nice thing about it, you can cook the onions ahead. You can even freeze them if you want. You can be cooking the onions while you're doing something else.
And you know, in a lot of restaurants, they'll serve you an onion soup, and that will be this way. Just the onion soup, sometimes with a crouton on top. But then what we call the onion soup gratiné.
Yes.
So we do the gratin there. Put your onion soup bowl on this because it tends to spill over and all that, and you make a mess. How much crouton put in there?
Is
Put
there
about
room for,
3 in mine here.
room for that many? The
Cut
bread
pretty
gives
thin.
it a thickening that's very nice.
Right. Okay. So this, bring back to a boil. I mean, the chicken stock is cooked. Do you want to taste it?
How long should this cook? Do you think half an hour together?
Well, not even. The onions have been cooked for so long. I think it needs salt, right? And a bit
hot.
of pepper. And I'll let you put the wine in it because this is your
good.
touch. Sometimes actually I've seen done with a bit of white wine, but never with a bit of red wine.
Well, it
That
gives
should
it
be
a
good.
nice color.
Get it darker, yes. Nice. And which cheese do you like to put on top?
Oh, we have Emmental and Gruyere.
Close to a cup of grated cheese per person. I think this is the Emmentaler, right? Both are Swiss cheese anyway.
Yeah.
So you really want to pile it up on top. And those onion soup bowl have a kind of little border here, and it holds the cheese this way. So I'm going to put that in the oven around 400 degrees, and that will take a good 35-40 minutes. Smells good. I think it's ready. It's nice and crusty here. Whoop, look at that.
That was 30 to 40 minutes, wasn't
Yes,
it?
at least, yes. You can see, really hot. So we put it on the plate here. I mean, you have a thick crust here,
No.
which is basically what you want.
And it smells so good with all that cheese.
It's so good. With a glass of red wine, a
That's
piece of
what we
cheese.
serve.
Or maybe no cheese, but a fruit, and you have a meal.
That's real hot.
And good.
You have asbestos mouth. I don't have to wait a minute. It smells so good.
That's good.
That's a real dish. We're going to do 2 versions versions of leeking potato soup. There's the old standbys, leeking potatoes.
Yes, I mean, if I had one soup to choose from, I would pick up leek potato soup.
I would too.
Yeah, and I tell you, home, winter, we do soup in no time at all. Even the piece I take out from the outside, I put that in stock, I keep it, I wash it.
Yeah.
But there, one of the mistakes often people do, they cut all of this out, you know? And I feel that here, for example, you take one here, and when you see the color starting to change, which get a lighter green, then I go up, you know, eventually to get basically to the end of it, to keep this, you know? And this, as I say again, you keep it for stock.
It has nice color, but not much flavor, hasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
And you can see it's very dirty here, so
Very
what you have
dirty.
to do is
Did you
to
grow
split
that
it.
one yourself?
I didn't grow that one. The supermarket grew that one. So you can see this beautiful light green color, but then it has to be rinsed, preferably under like lukewarm water, you know, to take all of that out.
These have been all cleaned.
Washed, yes.
So now we're going to start out.
With the leek.
Now we're going to make a leeking potato soup that can be turned into a vichyssoise.
Yes.
Which I want to
That's
be
what I'm... So I'm
pretty
putting
white.
a little bit of oil in mine, and that's it for the time being.
I'm going to save out the green.
Are you saving the green?
Because I want my soup to be quite white.
I want all the green in mine, so I'm starting this here.
Mine is a pristine white for a possible vichyssoise.
Okay.
I'm going to saute mine also in a little butter. And you're going to cut up an onion, are you, for us both?
I'm giving you a little bit of onion, so those are almost a pound. You know, those onions are quite large.
They're beautiful.
So half of it be enough for you?
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yours are cooking fairly fast. Mine are going to cook slowly.
Okay.
I'm going to what they do called sweat them.
Actually, the leek is the same family than the onion. The leek, chives, shallots, garlic even, it's all part of the allium family. And it can make you cry when you do it. Okay. Mine, I don't let it sweat too long, a couple of minutes here. And then I'm ready to put the potato. So, potato are kept in water.
Going for quite a while.
For quite a while, okay. I cut it very coarsely because I'm going to put it through the food mill anyway, so it doesn't matter.
But you want the potato to mash nicely, so
yes.
This would be a russet,
yeah,
or you can do.
I mean, the all-purpose potato is fine also, right? And mine, I'm going to do with chicken stock. This is a base soup that you do, and you can actually finish it, strain it, or puree it, put it in container and freeze it at that point. You can have all kind of addition to it later on. So what I want to do here is to bring it to a boil, cover it, and simmering like 15, 20 minutes, then I'm ready to... And yours?
This is nice and tender, and I want a little bit of thickening, so I'm going to put a little flour in there, about 2 tablespoons. And that has to cook for a minute or two, so that you won't have the taste of uncooked flour.
That's good.
And then that's going to simmer with just a little bit of water.
Here is your potato. And it's important, isn't it, not to wash the potato after you cut them?
Because we want the starch to stay, because that'll help thicken the soup. When it comes to the simmer, then add more water. And in go the potatoes. And this also, along with yours, is going to take about 20 minutes or so.
You want a bit of salt in there?
Yes, we need some salt. Now here's my leeking potato soup, and the potatoes are done, so I can do several things with it. I can puree as it is, and it'll be nice and white, and let it chill and serve it as a vichyssoise with a little bit of cream in it. Or I can serve it country style, just pressing it with one of these forks and roughly mashing it, and that would be very country style and nice.
Good, yeah.
Or we have some watercress that's getting a little wilted,
Yeah, right.
And I think we can cook it with some watercress, and Jack's going to cut it up.
You want to cut it?
And that's going to be very nice.
Pretty fine, right?
Yeah, pretty fine. And then it'll have to cook about 3 or 4 minutes longer. I think watercress soup is delicious. So the idea is here that you really, with your leek and potato, you have a wonderful base you can do all kinds of things with.
All right, so that looks good.
Now I'm going to let that simmer away while Jacques finishes his soup. It's amazing how many soups we're getting out of this.
Well, I like to put mine through the food mill, all like this, you know. And this is the fine blade, you know.
Fine blade.
Yes. This is very handy. I love those food mills.
Yeah.
I use it a lot.
You could use the food processor for this, but for the food processor, it wouldn't take out any kind of strings, would it?
Right.
You're really better off if you have something that could have strings in it. Better off using the food mill.
Yes, the bottom. Don't forget to scrape all of that goodie here. And you know, at that point, it's good even to emulsify it a little more if you want with that type of machine. And if I were doing a vichyssoise too, then I would cool off some of this. You know, I put it in ice, and we can finish that with cream and chives, right?
Yeah.
But for the plain soup like this, I like to finish it with butter. You know, so all I put...
Because it doesn't have any fat in it at all at this point, does it?
Not at that point, so we put...
So not to worry.
Not to worry. So we finish it just with a bit of emulsion of fresh butter at the end. Now, let's pretend that this is cold.
Mm-hmm.
We put a bit of cream in it. Maybe we put some chives in there.
Mm-hmm.
You put chive in the vichyssoise, right?
Good.
So, this one would be, I would put the vichyssoise there, of course, cold and creamier because of the cream. And then the potage, really parmentier here, you know. I like to serve it plain like that with croutons. You know, those are little dice croutons that rub a little bit of butter and put them in the oven. And we do, so Chiarello.
Yes, Chiarello, yes.
Chiarello is very classic there, and you serve it in pieces like this. I love it. It has a bit of an anise taste.
And a tiny tarragon taste, too. It's lovely, I think. It's delicious.
So that's great. We have 2 more soup. So
Well,
we're moving back to yours.
I'll put a little cream in. You don't have to.
Okay.
Well, I think we can, do you want to ladle that out?
Okay.
That's very nice. I think that slightly chunkiness
Yes.
is good.
Shall we put a few leaves of watercress on top?
Mm-hmm. We don't have enough salt in it now. Too bad.
That's too late.
That's good. Well, those look lovely, I think. Now we're going to do a wonderful Mediterranean-type fish soup. And this is the kind of a soup that you would make anywhere in the country, even in Kansas City. And so any place that you can get some fish, or you can even make it and put potatoes in rather than fish. It's the principle that counts.
Even with salmon, right?
Yes, because we happen to have some.
We have a piece, so you can use it. So we start with olive oil on that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So some scallion.
Scallions aren't usual in a traditional soup like this, but you don't need to be traditional.
No.
The thing is to make a wonderful soup.
We're going to put some onion, garlic in there.
And proportions aren't very important either. That's probably about half a big onion. And here's some garlic. This is we're beginning to smell Mediterranean. It smells like the streets of Marseille.
Well, I'm going to cut some tomato for you there. And
You're not going to seed them or anything?
No, I wouldn't seed them or do anything there. I mean, you know, it's more country style. It's going to be kind of...
a very country style
earthy.
soup.
About 2 cups of tomato. Should be fine. We're cooking for you and me or cooking for
Well, they're cooking
6?
for about 6 people.
Okay.
I think with these things, there's so many things you don't need a recipe for. If you've seen it done, and then you work it out yourself. I mean, some people will call up and say, oh, the recipe said 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and I've only got a teaspoon. I can't make the recipe. Of course you can make the recipe. Just put something else in or leave it out.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going
well,
to...
you might prep the fish.
Yeah, I'll prep the fish and I'll strain some fish stock here with the head and the bone of the fish so we don't lose anything.
Now, one thing, Jacques, very often people don't have fish stock or there isn't something around. I use chicken stock. You don't like that idea.
Well,
but I think
no,
but it needs some strength to it.
Yes, what you could do also is to use one of those bottles of clam juice,
which I don't happen to like.
Add water to it because it's a bit strong, you know.
But the chicken stock is quite mild. You have to have something with strength in it. So we would call that a possibility for the last resort.
Well, this is for your soup. In fact, I wanted to test this. See, the stock is just plain. It has a nice fish taste, has no salt, nothing in it. So.
And all you did was just to boil up.
That's it.
It's just about 20 minutes. It couldn't be easier.
Yes, the fish stock doesn't take too long to do as opposed to the meat stock. Shall we put wine in it?
Wine in?
Yes, like 1 cup. That's exactly 1 cup.
You don't have to have wine in it, but
I think
it's
you
nice.
do. I like it. Shall I put this?
And this just has to simmer away. I think put the whole thing in, don't you?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And then we can season it, salt, pepper. If you want to put, we put the saffron in it.
And I'm just going to, I think just about a pinch, about like that. And
yes, I like it, so I put more, but...
I'll put a half amount more, because I don't like a medicinal taste. You can always add more, but you can't take it out.
I'll give you a little bit of fresh thyme.
Good.
In there. We have some tarragon also, which has a kind of anise taste and goes well in the south, but maybe we'll put that at the end?
Yeah.
Will have more taste? Yes, okay.
See if it needs
I think
it.
it's a good idea. And shall we put salt and pepper in it?
Yeah.
I think we...
It'll need it.
And it doesn't really have to boil that long.
But
after it comes to a boil,
you want to get the flavor out of all these things.
You want the good flavor out of it, and during that time, of course, you can prepare your fish. Because the advantage of this, you would prepare your fish, but you would not cook it. You would cook it just at the last moment when you're ready to serve your guest, so that it doesn't get overcooked. And I think 1-inch pieces would be about good. Here we are. The salmon give it another color, and in that case here, the skin of the red snapper is left on, but of course it's scaled. You know, we took the scale out of it. Shall we leave the skin on the salmon or take it off?
Take it out, I think.
Okay.
I don't think it would be very nice. I wouldn't like to eat skin in a soup.
Well, the skin of that is very fine, of the red snapper, you know. So here, shall we put another piece here?
I think salmon is just not at all usual.
No.
But this is not an oily salmon. This is a very fresh, nice salmon.
And it's okay. I mean, if you have leftover, and that type of soup lends itself to countless variation. If you have this, you put it. If you have another type of fish, you put another type of fish. Then we have some scallop, and we have those, like butter clam. They call them different, golden clam, and so forth. And now they are a bit available. If you don't have those, you put cherry stones or
these can go in with the shell.
Yeah, well, I think we put that with the shell.
I think so. Or you could, mussels would be very nice. In other words, you put in what you have.
So another 5 minutes, and then we'll put all of that in and finish it up with the sauce.
Good.
Action, action.
This is a pestle, and in the south of France, when they make a fish soup, they make this wonderful garlic sauce called a rouille, which is garlic and olive oil, and they pound it in a great big mortar like this. When we were living in France way back in 1949, We found this in the flea market in Paris, and my husband Paul had to carry it about a mile. See how heavy it is.
Better him than me.
That's wonderful. Well, we're going to make it in a very good way that Jacques has invented.
Good. So you're going to give me a little bit of that stock. Here we have a beautiful stock in there. And I put 4 or 5 cloves of garlic here.
Peeled garlic?
This is my peeled garlic.
A little more, is that
I think a little more. And you want to put a pimiento in there, you say? I never did that.
Yeah, well,
give it a
nice
beautiful color, yes. And for the binding agent, you know, you can put a piece of bread in it, like this, or sometimes I put a piece of potato, I mean cooked potato.
This nice, it'll really bind with both potato and bread.
Yeah, so we can put a piece of both. It's there, so we might as well use it. A little bit of cayenne, maybe.
Not too much.
Like this. Oh, that's enough. I think we may need a little more juice, but we'll see. It goes this way. And maybe we can put that to cook now, you know? Because we're going to be ready as soon as the roux is ready. We put that directly in there, right? And now the olive oil.
It's very, very important in making this garlic sauce that the garlic be completely pureed.
Yes.
So that you don't have a piece of it. But what is clever in the way he's done it is putting the potato and the bread and so forth in it so that it really will puree.
Salt in there, of course. And even a little bit of black pepper. Here we are. And as you see now it's thicker.
That's perfect.
I'm putting the roux there, and I'll do some croutons for the roux. How is the fish doing, Julie?
That's almost done. You see how quickly this fish cooks. That's just, I would think it needs just about a minute more. What do you think, Jacques?
Yes, it's getting really...
You definitely don't want it overcooked.
Just want to do it at the last moment. I think we should taste for salt, pepper, and... Oh, yes, and what I wanted to give you is a little bit of the tarragon at the end. So about...
It needs just a little bit more salt and pepper.
Oh, here you are. Okay. I'll give you black pepper this time.
All right. Then, of course, the roux is going to give it a lovely taste.
We put the roux directly on the bread. And you can prepare a lot of that ahead. There is a lot of garlic in it, and I love it. And sometimes also, people put a tablespoon or 2 of the roux into their plate of fish to thicken the soup, you know, at the table. And it's very nice, too. So now we're ready to serve the soup, you think?
You see how quickly that fish cooks. And you don't want it overcooked.
It is a kind of fish stew, huh? You would say it's stew as well as soup, right?
That's lovely. That has the clams and everything in it.
Yes. That should be about fine, right? Here. Shall we put a couple of roux directly inside? And this thicken a little bit, and a couple of extra one to go on the side. Shall we test it here? Oh, you want some of the roux inside, yes?
Yes, I love
it the right way.
The roux in the soup.
The right way of doing it. It is delicious.
I think this is one of the best soups you could find.
Yes. Well, I hope you're going to do that soup for your friend, as Julia and I enjoy cooking it for you. Happy cooking.
Bon appetit.
Nice cooking with you,
Good
Julia.
cooking with you.
A presentation of KQED San Francisco.